So it does have international and national importance so far as this is the way the United States wanted to, quote, protect itself against Russia, right? So we created all of these nuclear armaments because we were afraid they were going to wipe us off the face of the map. Instead, what we did is we've poisoned our own communities to basically, if you take a look at the evidence, there is undisputably plutonium contamination, not just in the area where the facility was, but the area surrounding it, which is now a wildlife refuge, and then areas even further around that with housing developments, even into basically as far as Denver and who knows, maybe even much further.
Right.
So the plutonium issue, of course, the debate is not whether it's there or not, to most part. It's about what the impacts are. So if anyone is going to be impacted, it's going to be the people who are living downwind and these communities that they're building up nearby. So could you maybe talk a little bit about who these people are? What sort of communities are these? How can people picture this area here?
I mean, I think that's what's interesting is when I lived in the area and when Rocky Flats was live, it was raided by the FBI in 1989 and closed for quote unquote cleanup in 1992. So during that time, there was kind of where I lived, which is like 3.5 miles downwind, was kind of the close neighborhoods to the plant. So when I went out in 2014, many years later, after moving to Denver and not knowing about Rocky Flats as an adult, I went out to the area and I was blown away with how much development is in the area and now so much closer to the plant site. So like you said, where the plant was, now around that, it's like a donut. The outside the donut hole is the current Superfund site, but around that would be the wildlife refuge. And then right outside of that is one of the closest neighborhoods is the Candelas neighborhood. And so when I went out there and saw that with my own eyes and saw that families and children were living so close to the site with oftentimes no knowledge and certainly no signage and limited actual written warning in the paperwork, because I've seen some of the paperwork that the folks that move out there get, and it's like a one-page form that says something about this area surrounding had this certain kind of history. But when you're buying a house, that's just one document in a bunch. And so there's a huge community that's out there now. And since 2014, when I first started to go visit the area again, it's since really started to develop, not just in terms of the residential, but now there's bars and restaurants and schools, and these communities are creeping closer and closer to the wildlife refuge border, and then that's just very close to the Superfund site.